Still waiting on your tax refund? Find out why it could be delayed and where to check on its status. Plus, the new Krispy Kreme collaboration. What fast food restaurant will start selling the popular donuts soon? I'm hungry already. Hello, everyone. You're watching The Rundown. I'm Robin Winston. More on those stories coming up in a moment. But first, LA Metro and city officials celebrated the opening of new bus priority lanes in the San Fernando Valley. These priority lanes extend about 5.5 miles on Sepulveda Boulevard from Ventura and Encino to Rayon Street in North Hills. There's also a nearly 1 mile bus priority lane on westbound Ventura from Vesper to Sepulveda. The goal of these added lanes is to help increase bus speeds and save riders time.
We know that the Valley wants transit. We know that the Valley will use transit. And it's not just those who are transit dependent. People will choose to take transit if we make it safe, reliable, and fast.
Metro says that since the new lanes opened in October, they are seeing a time savings of about 15% or more. Bus operators are driving the new lanes 24 hours a day. If you've already filed your taxes and you're wondering where your refund is, the IRS says it could be delayed for a number of reasons. If your return was sent by mail, contains errors, or is incomplete, it'll take longer than average to process. Also, if you've been affected by identity theft or fraud, or your return was referred to the IRS by the bank for suspicious activity, that could also impact your refund. And if your return includes an injured spouse allocation form, it could take up to 14 weeks to process. The IRS does offer a tool for checking the status of your return. It's called Where's My Refund? You can access it on the homepage of irs.gov. Let's get a check of the weather forecast with meteorologist Belen De Leon because we have changes in store.
Hi, everyone. Well, travel here, there, everywhere is going to be okay Wednesday and Thursday, but things start going downhill on Friday, especially in the mountains where it's going to be challenging to head up to the higher elevations. And Saturday and Sunday, you want to avoid travel in the mountains and carry the chains. Here's a reason why. I'm tracking a storm system that's going to impact us over the Easter weekend. Periods of rain expected to start late Friday, become heavier Saturday, continue into Sunday. 1 to 3 inches of rain possible, but in the foothills mountains, we could get from 3 to 6 inches. Rain expected to cause travel delays, some urban street flooding, even mud and debris flow. And in the mountains, significant snowfall above 6,500 feet. We could see from 1 to 2 feet of snow. Stay tuned.
The rescue effort in Baltimore Harbor has shifted to a recovery. 6 members of a work crew performing routine maintenance on the Francis Scott Key Bridge are still missing more than a day after a fully loaded container ship slammed right into a support column, causing the bridge to collapse. It happened just minutes after the ship pulled away from port late Monday night. Onboard lights flickered, dark smoke poured from the stack. The pilot issued a mayday call saying he'd lost power and propulsion. Just seconds later, the entire 1.5-mile steel bridge crumbled right into the water. A crew filling potholes was on the bridge at the time. 2 of the workers were quickly pulled to safety, but there's still no sign of the other 6. The Port of Baltimore, the 11th busiest in the country, is completely locked down and could be for weeks. In the wake of this disaster, Southern California officials are trying to make sure a similar thing does not happen in the ports of LA and Long Beach. These are 2 of the busiest ports in the country. 37% of all imports and more than 21% of all exports flow through them. When it comes to the structure, the Gerald Desmond Bridge at the Port of Long Beach has a vertical deck clearance of 205 feet, while the Vincent Thomas Bridge has a vertical clearance of 185 feet above the water, the same height as the collapsed bridge in Baltimore. However, both of our bridges are land-based and do not have pylons in the water. And while it is standard for a local pilot to navigate an incoming ship through a port, the ports of LA and Long Beach have an additional safety measure. Tugboats are used to help guide vessels under bridges or through waterways. Caltrans says once the investigation into the Baltimore incident is finished, they will use the findings to reinforce bridge safety here. An investigation continues into a bomb threat at a Fullerton bank that ended in an officer-involved shooting. Police say around closing time Tuesday night, a masked man walked in the Wells Fargo bank on Baston Cherry Road demanding money from the teller. Officers say he showed a white box with an apparent explosive device to the teller, threatening to detonate it. Fullerton police worked to evacuate all the employees, and officers then sent a bomb robot into the bank. Police say when the man walked outside with the box filled with the stolen money, the officer involved shooting unfolded. He died at the scene, and police say after further investigation, the bomb squad deemed the object was not actually an explosive device. The man in his 70s has not been identified. The abortion issue is once again before the Supreme Court. Justices heard oral arguments Tuesday in a case that could limit access to a commonly used abortion drug and have far-reaching implications for reproductive rights and other medications. NBC's Susan McGinnis has the latest.
Outside the Supreme Court, demonstrators on both sides of the abortion issue. Inside, justices heard arguments in a case that could significantly restrict access to mifepristone, a commonly used abortion drug prescribed for decades.
Millions of Americans have used mifepristone to safely end their pregnancies.
The High Court reviewing an appeals court decision restricting mifepristone access, rolling back the FDA's making the pill easier to get, including through telemedicine and by mail.
We are asking the Supreme Court to hold the FDA accountable for violating the law to the detriment of women's health.
The group of anti-abortion doctors leading the legal challenge claims the FDA did not adequately evaluate the drug's safety risks and wants the High Court to limit access even in states where abortion remains legal.
The risks are extremely minimal. It's extremely safe.
The FDA says the pill has been safe and effective since its approval in 2000, and the pharmaceutical industry is cautioning. Undermining FDA's approval process won't stop at mifepristone.
It would upend not just mifeprix, but virtually every drug approval.
Justices appeared skeptical of the challenge the anti-abortion doctors made.
They're saying because we object to having to be forced to participate in this procedure, we're seeking an order preventing anyone from having access to these drugs at all.
The Supreme Court is allowing full access to the drug while the legal proceedings play out. Susan McGinnis, NBC News, Washington.
LA County has reached a $12 million settlement over the PACE program. That program gave out loans to people so they could make energy improvements on their homes. But many participants say it turned into a scam. PACE allowed customers to pay back loans through their property taxes, but some say they were deceived by contractors and wound up with liens on their homes that they could not afford.
Often people believed the representations they were being told that this was a free government program and signed up for this work thinking that the work was going to be free. And then many months later, they'd get a property tax bill that was huge.
Despite the backlash, LA County says the program was largely successful. PACE was discontinued through the county, but it's offered through the state. Officials say reforms are in place to protect homeowners. Getting your chocolate fix could soon be a little less sweet and a little more bitter for your bank account. Experts say consumers can start feeling the effects of record high cocoa prices all around the world. The source of the spike, a combination of factors in several cocoa growing nations in Africa, including extreme weather, disease, and fewer healthy cocoa trees. Major chocolate companies say they've been working with retailers to manage down cost and keep chocolate affordable for us. But soon we could either face higher prices or shrinkflation in the form of smaller chocolate bars for the same price. Well, you've probably been asked, would you like fries with that? But how about would you like a donut with that? Yes, I do. I'll take it. Thanks to a new partnership, you'll soon be able to order Krispy Kreme donuts at your local McDonald's. The donut chain's most popular offerings will be available individually or in boxes of 6. Yes, I'll take 6. McDonald's plans to start rolling out Krispy Kremes later this year. Dreams do come true. I'm so happy about that. Shakira is making headlines after her appearance Monday night with NBC's Jimmy Fallon. The singer's album dropped last Friday, and in just a few days, it's become the most streamed album of 2024. She also dropped some hints about a future tour on The Tonight Show.
Does this mean that you'll be going on tour?
That's what I'd like. Yeah, I mean, you know how it goes. First you present an album, and then you go on tour. I can't say when.
Okay, no.
Or where we'll start.
Okay, Shakira, we'll be on standby. In the past 2 years, Shakira has dealt with divorce and tax evasion lawsuit as well. The singer says she's excited for her new album to show how she turns pain into art. That's what it's all about. And Beyonce fans are counting down the final days until her next album comes out. The singer is diving into her country era with Cowboy Carter. The album comes out on Friday. Can't wait. A Dodgers star gave a special gift to his hometown and his alma mater, El Modena High School in the city of Orange. That's right. They cut the ribbon Tuesday at the Freddy Freeman Clubhouse. The Dodger first baseman donated $500,000 to build the place. He graduated from El Modena 17 years ago. And here's what he said about the place where he spent so much time.
I really want to give back and help Elmo because it's been such a special place to me, and that's kind of started the conversation. And Coach Kleiner obviously was very thrilled with it.
Freddy is just one incredible human being and one of the best players that the game has ever seen. So to have him come back and connect with his roots, it's crazy.
Freddy said his dad used to throw him 3 buckets of balls on the school's field after every practice. What a great full circle moment. And there's a winner in the $1.1 billion Mega Millions jackpot. That ticket was sold in New Jersey. This is the first big Mega Millions winner since 2 tickets matching all 6 numbers were sold at the same Encino gas station last December. A Mega Millions ticket matching 5 of 6 numbers was sold at this Van Nuys liquor store. It was purchased at D&K Liquor on Satakoy Street. It's worth more than $1 million. Someone out there is lucky. Hey, if it's you, remember, sharing is caring. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune into Today in LA on NBC4, weekdays 4 to 7 a.m. I'll be helping you get around with traffic reports throughout the morning. I'll see you next time on The Rundown.